Welcome to the Repurposing Business podcast. My name is Brett Johnson, and we're talking about principles for restarting your business. I want to talk a little bit about this week's principle, and it has to do with both assets and liabilities, but you could say it this way: don't add your yeast on the wrong side of the Red Sea. I spoke in the past about the fact that the Jews left and they carried with them the dough and the kneading bowls, the dough without the yeast added. Why was this important? Because if they had added the yeast, then it would have puffed up, and that which looked tasty would have become a burden. I want to dig a bit deeper on this and say that this is an opportunity for us to evaluate our liabilities and our assets. I've worked with people going through a change in season, and I recommend that they go through their assets. Look at the 10P model, for example, your purpose, products, positioning, presence, partnering, and so on. Look at your assets and say, okay, this was an asset in a past season. Is it an asset I should take forward into the next season? This was an asset for me in Egypt. Will it become a liability for me in the desert or in the promised land? So you have to look at your own circumstances. And part of the question is, what do you want your future to look like? What does God want to do with this reset, this restart of your work and business? And there are things that were a definite asset in some businesses. For example, if you were in retail and you had a retail store or maybe many retail stores, and now people are no longer coming to those stores, that which is an asset becomes a liability. You could also have had an online business and people weren't buying from you. Now they're buying more from you online. So that is an asset which becomes an enhanced asset. So I'd encourage you to go through and to look at your assets and liabilities afresh and ask yourself, is this thing to which I was so endeared, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? How do I take the things that and evaluate to see what should I take forward with me and what should I leave behind? That's the question. So stay slim, keep mobile, but more important, don't let certain things that were a positive for you become a negative in the future. You can shelter in place. You can be on lockdown. You can gradually ease in, but make sure that as you get up, you're ready to go, you're ready to move. As you take your business to the next level, that you only take with you the things that are useful to you. God didn't say to the Israelites, leave everything in Egypt. He said, take their gold, take their silver, but you couldn't take everything with you. You had to be selective. You had to take only certain things. Reevaluate your assets and liabilities. Put them before God. Sit down with a friend, talk it through and say, okay, those were assets before, but will there be liabilities or assets going forward? Until tomorrow, let your business go.